Hello, welcome back to the sofa of Andy Collier-talks cricket memorabilia. Today I'm going to talk to you about postcards in the collection, or some of them. Postcards are a great way to get started, so if you've been following the postcards and you've been encouraged to start cricket collecting, I can sort of say, well, postcards are a great way to do it. Some are fairly cheap, some are expensive, but they're a great way to gain some history of the game, and they have some great photographs. Different sort of ways to collect them, different things to collect, advertising ones, comic ones, team ones, player ones, grounds, all sorts of stuff. So there's a great wide span of collecting for postcards. So I'm going to start today with these are Jaeger postcards. This is of 1926 Australian sides. I do go back to 1921, but this is quite a nice postcard. Jaeger in their jumpers and shirts. On the back of there, generally you'd have the fixtures on the back of there, but this one's a bit, no, it's got the fixtures on the bottom, so that's what they'd normally have on the back. Next one is 1930 Australians, same situation again. Jaeger, again on the back of there, this was posted to someone, so you've got the dates of the test matches on that one. This is a South Africans 1924, again they're all in their Jaeger shirts and jumpers, and on the back of there again is the test matches. (1928) West Indian side, which is a nice postcard, quite one of their first tours to England, all nicely dressed in their Jaeger shirts and jumpers. This one's slightly different. This is Viella, who sponsored Julian Cahn's cricket team 1933 here for their tour. Julian Cahn was an entrepreneur in Nottinghamshire, and he was involved in the Larwood incident after they, or Larwood story after they came back from Australia in the Bodyline series. He was sent a letter to ask Harold Larwood to apologise for his actions, but which Harold Larwood obviously didn't do. Otherwise, he wouldn't talk to his mother, wouldn't talk to him again. So that certainly put him in place. So that's quite a nice Viella one there. Alastair Strip. This one is a reproduction postcard, but it's quite a nice one. Australians with Bradman there as the main man. Yeah, it's quite a nice one, nice signature on that one. And then another area you can start to collect, which is obviously one of my favourite areas, is the ships. And this one's official Orient Line to Australia postcard, with the Osterley on the front of that one, and then there's the official line on that one. It didn't cost me £15 by the way, so that's quite nice. And you can also get some photographs of the interior of the ship. This one is the drawing room, so it gives you some of the opulence that was on board ship for the first class passengers. And on the ships, this is a nice postcard. This is actually of the Orion, signed by the team for 1935-36. MCC tours to Australia and New Zealand. This was the Orion's maiden voyage, so quite a significant ship to get onto. But this tour was known as the Goodwill Tour, and all players selected on this trip had a good personality, as MCC would say. When we get into some grounds, this one is the West Indies, Queen's Park Oval. I've actually played there a couple of times, which is one of the reasons I bought it, but it's a lovely sort of 1900 postcard there. This one is Singapore. Give you a little bit of history on that, what they used to look like at Singapore Cricket Ground. That's the pavilion there. Cart post tail, that one. This one here is of Lords, which shows quite clearly the old nursery ground there, which most collectors and cricket buffs would know. A lot of film and photographs were taken in on the nursery grounds, so it's nice to see how it used to be there at Lord's. That one's addressed to a bit more of history there when you get a card like that with the detail sent to somebody from somebody. It's quite nice. It's just a bit more history to it. So that was that one. But there's all sorts of different makes of postcards. There's rotary and wrench, all sorts of postcards. We get comic ones here. This is cricket with historic cricket matches there. Cricket was spelt with a K. We've got the bones as stumps and a bone as a bat, which is quite fun. This one here, which is a Tux postcard. This is of Battersea Park in London, which is just up the road really from me. Again, about 1910 this one. Got a nice coloured postcard. Again, addressed to someone on the back there with Tux postcard on there. 1909. And then we go to, I've got some players here. This one is famous Hopper Levett from Kent. He went on Douglas Jardine's tour to India, and that is actually a blazer he's wearing now. I've got in my collection, so that's quite nice. That's one of the reasons I bought that. It's a signed postcard. Being a Surrey man, this is Tom Hayward. This is a rotary postcard, nice signed rotary postcard of Tom Hayward there at the Oval. So that's quite a nice one there. And then we've got this one here of Vivian Crawford, Jack's brother. This is a Wrench series postcard. Now Vivian has got the prestige of being the biggest hitter or longest hitter, first class hit in the game, when he hit a ball 160 yards at the Bristol County Ground into Lancashire Road, one of the gardens in Lancashire Road, and they thought it was about 170 yards, but then they went on to get the tape measure out, and it was actually officially recorded as 160 yards, which is actually the longest first class cricket hit. That's a Wrench postcard, that one, which is quite nice. There's various Wrench postcards. Obviously Wrench is a symbol that they use. Oh, sorry, one there is Bill Hitch. What a nice one there, 1923. That's just an ordinary postcard, that one. Yeah, the Surrey team's got team photographs here. Surrey of about 1905. Quite a nice postcard there. Later in life, the official postcards used to come from the Dick's store in at the Oval, famous postcards, and this is one of them. This is the Great Surrey side of the 50s, captained by Stuart Surridge. So from 1952 there, there's nice postcards from Mr. Dick, FC Dick, the Oval bookstore. Then we've got some quite rare ones here and quite expensive ones. This is a road in Jamaica, and it's signed on the back, a Jamaican postcard by Lord Tennyson's side, 1926 to the West Indies, and on there you got Percy Fender, all sorts of people on there, Ernest Tilsley, R.T. Holmes, Parker. So some nice posts. So that's a rare postcard, that one. An equally rare postcard is this one here of MCC that went to India in 1926-27, captained by Arthur Gilligan, fully signed there. That's a nice postcard. And on the back, it's actually a Christmas card. Actually, it's all good wishes for the new year. A couple of extra ones on the back there, Mercer and the back there. This is a lovely postcard. This one. This is from the 1907 tour. When the chaps on a day off, when they were out in the country, they went down a gold mine. This one at Bendigo. This has got Jack Hobbs in it. A couple of the other players in there. Humphreys is in there as well. But this one is written on the back actually by Jack Hobbs. So that's quite a nice thing. I've actually visited that place on Clapham Common just to see what it was like, and it's just a terraced house. So not quite sure who Archie was, but again, that's added to the history of that postcard. We get to newer stuff then, and you can, the youngsters amongst you, can start collecting teams you actually might know somebody in there. So that's the West Indies 1994, which is the tour I went on. And if you've seen the previous podcast, I've actually got Alex Stewart's back, and he got his 200s at Barbados. Now a nice postcard, which is called a wallet postcard, and this opens up to give you a panoramic there of Melbourne Cricket Ground and also Flemington Park. And if you turn that round, there is Brighton Beach there, all in Australia. So you can get these. I've got another one with Sydney Cricket Ground on, so they're quite a rarity, those, and they can be quite expensive. It gives you a lovely panoramic there of Melbourne Cricket Ground. That's nice. And of course the Melbourne Cup is there, that shell. So I hope that's given you a little bit of an insight in just some of the collection of postcards that I have. There's all sorts of things you can do, but hopefully that will, if someone looks at this podcast and it kicks off their ambition to collect cricket memorabilia, that's a great way of doing it. So it saves a lot of space. I mean, obviously you've got files, but at least they can just be put on a shelf and you start collecting. You can collect photographs and stuff, goes in wallets, so that's quite a nice way of starting your collection off. So some are cheap, some are expensive. I think the most expensive one in my collection is probably just about £400. So you can say spend a £5, you can spend 400 quid. So, but some of the rarer ones can go for even more than £400. The signed ones of the early cricketers, they go for big money. So it's a great area to collect and give you a great sense of history. Hopefully next couple of weeks, I thought it might be a good idea actually to go to Tilbury, as it's my passion of collecting the ships and things. So I might go down to Tilbury and see what it's like down there, give you a bit of insight into where the players used to sail away from to Australia and other parts of the country, other parts of the world rather. So it's that should be quite interesting. So I can take some down there and give you a bit of insight into that. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you on the next one.